Just to start the video, very noisy vehicle. It's Sunday, it's midday. I'll try it again. It's Sunday, it's midday. I'm on the allotments, what a surprise. Just one other person I can see, my friend from over the corner, who's been helping with lots of advice and things and bits and pieces. I did come down earlier this morning, about 7:30. I did a couple of hours work. Let me show you. So this is the growing pile of brambles and ivy, which is in the corner of the plot by the pond. So what I've been doing, let's go up to the pond. Pond looking lovely, getting fuller, that's a word. But what I've been doing is over in that corner there, and you can't see it. So let's go through the bushes. Sorry about the car noise in the background. Under the support for the telegraph pole, which I think is a power cable. Power pole. We're like that out here. We have power on things. And this is what I've done. As you see, I've cleared all the bramble and some of the ivy around here, and then cleared it down here. And the reason for doing this is twofold. One, obviously, all this is going to have to be cleared of ivy at some stage. Look, it really needs to be pulled out, and all the brambles need to be okay. I know I've cut them at the moment. I need to attack their roots with the that big hoe I have. But if you look down there, just here, you can see a culvert. Now I'm pretty certain that's an out culvert for when the pond gets too high, but to me that seems hugely deep, and I've never seen it actually go that far. And I've seen the pond draining quite often, so I don't think that's the only... Oh, it's my friend. Where are you? Where are you? She's in there somewhere. He or she. Robbie. Anyway. Somebody walked past, so I turned off the camera. Right, so yeah, so the culvert is up in that little part there. Let's see if I can crouch down without sliding off into the bank. There we go. So it's actually just round that corner there. And as I say, I don't know if it's the in or the out. I would have thought it's the out. But we still, somewhere around here, got to find the in. Now I don't have my Wellington boots yet. I'm getting those in the next couple of days. As soon as I've got them, I'll start clearing that end and work my way round. What I've been, because there's a lot of brambles here, a lot of weed that needs sorting, and then it'll I can actually stand properly without slipping. Is that an egg there? Looks like an egg's falling out of the tree. Just there. I won't touch it. It's a shame if it is. It looks like the size of a pigeon egg. And I do know there was a pigeon in that tree before. I swear I haven't touched it. You see, it's still exactly intact. You're not allowed to touch nesting birds of any description, even if you feel they're a pest. Yeah, so all this needs dragging up. A lot of this is still intact and rooted, so all this needs to come out. A lot of this stuff is still... Oh, friends have arrived. That's the gate going. A lot of this is still live ivy, so it all needs to be chopped down, cut down. As you see, it's a pretty big job, but we'll get there. We'll cut it all back, make it all nice, get it all looking lovely, and then we'll start planting for the spring. Gosh, bristles again. Such a lazy person. Yeah, so that's the pond. I think what I'll do is I'll include the pond in this video vlog, and let's do that so you can actually see me against the sunlight. But what I'll also do is, my little friend, is do a separate playlist for the pond as well, so I'll make up like little separate areas for it. Right, now, so we know we've got our two main problems on this particular plot. The first one, turn you around, this incredibly fine soil that doesn't seem to have much mineral or fibre base for retention. So we can deal with that as time goes by. I mean, it needs a hoe there, but as you see, we're staying on top of it. That's the main thing. The second one is pigeon power. Stop the pigeon, stop the pigeon. You need to Google that if you don't understand the reference. Dastardly and Muttley. Right, oh, there goes Robin, and there's people walking past. We won't look at the people. Right, so what can we do about pigeon power? Well, we've put these down here as a temporary measure. I mean, one thing is bringing, like, for instance, bring the peas out ready germinated and a few inches tall is very useful. Pigeons will peck, but for some reason they didn't eat them, so that's obviously a good sign. But now that we've put these down, there's a lot more peas beginning to germinate, and I think the early ones all were pigeon-fied. So I reckon if we keep these here, the peas will grow and be quite happy. But how do people on the rest of the site deal with pigeons? Well, my next door neighbour, I haven't seen any brassicas or anything. He doesn't appear to have any type of pigeon-proof power. Let's have a walk around the allotment and we'll see the actual site, and we'll see. There is somebody working outside, but he won't mind. He'll stay away. This is one option. This is 25mm water pipe, and it's been curved over and put on a rectangular frame with a netting. You can tell what type of netting it is by these black lines. This is actually scaffold netting, and it's actually really good. I mean, unfortunately it is a plastic, it is a plastic base, but it is UV protected, and as you see it's very fine, almost like an enviro mesh, so it definitely stop butterflies and birds. So they've got these, and they've got 3. Now this has been abandoned for the time being, hopefully they will return. But they've also brought this absolutely fantastic, fruit cage. Now this could be anything, a fruit cage, a brassica cage. So you can actually see they've got lots of fruit trees around here, all locked up, all safe. So yeah, so that's how they're dealing with it. I'm going to turn you off and we'll turn you back on at the next site. Right, this is another plot. As you see, they've got this bought contraption. It does look very good. They've had to reinforce it with canes, but it looks all right. It's quite nice. Unfortunately, as you see, one of my pet hates is cable ties. I mean, you could easily string that, you know, with hemp string instead of single-use plastics. And we've also got some enviro mesh tunnels. I mean, you can get these fairly about £15, I think, for about a 3-metre stretch. Next door is another huge, well, I'm not really sure if it's a brassica bed or a fruit bed. I think it's just brassicas in there. And again, you know, quite an elaborate structure, needs a bit of repair. how they're dealing with it. There's another bought fruit or brassica cage. Again, you can buy these quite easily, and you just drape your they usually come with a net, but they're not usually the best quality net, and you just drape your bits over there. Another hodgepodge of cables with garden netting over it, and that's just 4 bits of wood. So far nobody seems to have a definitive method of actually doing it. Again, there's another little tunnel. Looks homemade tubing with more scaffolding there over the top. Over here, again, more homemade with scaffolding, netting. Oh no, that might not be scaffolding. Yes, it is. It's just been cut. That's just a 1 metre wide one. This looks a bought tunnel, and you see it's beginning to deteriorate at the end as well. So quality is always a thing with these. Some of them aren't that well UV protected, so the plastics dry out, become difficult. And there's a little row of them. Enviro mesh. Again, this is homemade. And this looks a bought one. Getting on to more serious things now. A lot of people put these around their sweet corn. I'm not really sure what predators we have up here for sweet corn. So that's a homemade one. That's a hodgepodge of everything. It looks like table frames, piping, and again this looks like water pipe and canes with scaffolding netting. And then there's a metal frame, and I believe this is like reinforcing steel or fencing steel. I'm not really sure exactly. It's similar to what I've got, only they put environment mesh over it. That's that one. As you see, there's not a definitive answer anywhere that I can find how people around here actually stop the pigeons. Maybe pigeons are just on my particular plot. As you see, there's some beautiful plots. This is a strawberry bed with that's now been uncovered, but obviously at one point it had these water pipes. This is a very good option that a lot of people are using. These are fencing posts. You can buy them from Screwfix or any other major building place, and they basically are about 1 metre long, stick in the ground, and you just drape your netting over it, and they're used all over the place. Over there is more steel covering it with other things. Again, more homemade options. You can buy this sort of mesh from Screwfix Direct. I think it's about 16 quid for 10 sheets at 3 foot by 2 foot, so it's not a huge amount. Alright, going over the other side. I have to be careful because there are people working here, so we'll try to not to invade their privacy. Coat. This is a very good method. I'm not sure what types of pipes there are, but see how high they are. And again, that's got scaffolding mesh on, so that's a really handy way of actually doing things. These are what some people use. I believe these are a local delicacy. I think these are from crab pots. These rubber bars or whatever they are, rubber pipes, and people make homemade things to actually put them on. So that's one of the more regular things. You'll see these all over the site. Okay, this is one of the more common ways of people to actually handle the situation. I mean, obviously these are strawberry beds, and again they've built their homemade frame. Looks like just offcuts of wood. It doesn't look like that there's a particular you know, the bought wood to actually do it. It just looks like wood that's been lying around. And then again, as I mentioned, here's the posts. There's the water pipe put between them, and again this is obviously to cover the fruit trees, which are all uncovered now thanks to season being over. Again, more of these posts and pipes. Some people just randomise it and they just sling over the mesh and the nets over the actual goods and hope for the best. You know, this is a very good allotment, so the guy definitely knows what he's doing, and if that works for him, then it's obviously a winner. Yeah, there's so much produce comes out of this particular allotment. I don't think I'd be one to criticise anything that's done there. And again, there's more homemade posts. Now this is probably the one that impresses me the most. The person on this plot definitely goes to town to actually ensure that they're covered. So again, this is a combination of these metal posts and canes with the net thrown over the top. The only issue is it depends on the type of net you use. For instance, there's nothing to stop a cabbage white landing on here and sticking its egg actually on the allotment there. Can you see all the little friends on there hunting for aphids and whitefly and stuff? That one down here, there's more down there. Yeah, so this is good, but it only lasts up to a certain size, and then obviously you're going to have issues. And he's done this on all three, and then there's a homemade one there on this particular site as well. This is another very good plot, and they've done exactly the same. They have these posts with the netting strewn in between, but they've also added a higher, is it higher? Well, not really, but they've obviously got a little bit more growing space there, and they've put what appears to be a double net. So they've got a large bird net followed by a butterfly mesh here, so if you can see. So that's another way, so I'm just doing it. On this particular one, it's a combination of canes and netting, and now this is possibly because, like me, this particular allotment plot holder, who's been very generous and helpful for me, he's only just started as well, so who knows, in the new year he could have very elaborate ways of getting rid of pigeons. Moving around, some more posts and netting, and then finally the plot opposite me. This one has like these very long posts. These are actually longer than the others, and they're normally just over 1 metre, but these look about, well, almost getting up to 1.5 metres, 2 metres. But as you see, that's the main method of choice here. Look at my stubbly face. Oh, I just woke up, yeah, it's Monday morning. All the children are off to school. All the students, should I say, not children. And it's horrible weather out there. It's cold, blustery, bit of rain. It's not raining at this present time, but it has been, and it's forecast again too. Yeah, so I might try to walk down the allotment later on and have a look. I started clearing around the pond, some of the bigger weeds and things, but on the roadside. I might try again later on, but I really need Wellington boots, and I won't get those till tomorrow. Who's this? Who's this? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Pixels. What are you doing? What are you doing, girl? Coming back in. She doesn't like it out there. Okay. Right, mind your tail. There we go. Yep, so we'll see how it goes. I might be able to get down later on. Gloomy sky. Maybe. We'll see. See you later. Hi, it's Wednesday. It's midday. I have not been down to the allotment today. It's been on and off raining all day. Hang on a second, let me show you. Sky looks like, that's what the sky is all about. It's been on and off raining. Not had much of a chance to get down there. Yesterday I cut back more of the brambles around the pond. and I cut down somebody lent me a saw and I cut down the trees down there. So yeah, that's the status of play at the moment. See the clouds, but look at that. That's how amazing the weather is. Isn't that glorious? Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully I might get down later on today. I'll cut back some more of the brambles. It's really all I can do with my new Wellington boots on. And I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll chat later. What day is it? It's... oh, let's go that way. Oh, it's a bit scruffy today. I believe it's Thursday. I believe the time is 3:30. Yes, it's late in the afternoon. I did come down early this morning, and I've been down for another couple of hours this afternoon. I've got sun in my eyes now. Let me see if I can turn that way. There we go. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been ponding. Let's show you. Walk this way, talk this way. So, right, there we go. Look, pond. No weeds around the side. Now what's happened is that at the base of the wall is like a lip, like a shelf, and that's where all the weeds were growing. So dirt is rested on there and the weeds have taken root. Now one of the problems is that the brambles have really taken a hold in the cracks in that wall, so it's going to be difficult to get them out. But the only thing I can do is just keep cutting back year after year until actually the roots weaken. Right, the rest of the pond, glorious. I now have to get rid of all of this pond refuse, all of these weeds. I've already done like 2 massive piles. There's one pile here of brambles and nettles, an old man's beard, and there's another pile of the elderberry tree and the rest of the ivy. One of the other plot holders has said that they'll be happy to take it away as long as it's cut down into smaller amounts, which I have got no objection to, apart from the fact I've just cut up another huge pile. This is the smaller half, and I've chopped it all up small, and I put it into this bin here, which is about 2/3 full. But I've also got a lot more to chop up here. There's all that ivy that's got to go there, there's all this over here that's got to go. But this is all the other stuff that I've chopped up. Cut it up small so it takes up less space. So yeah, I've got blisters on my thumb now. But don't feel sorry for me, I've enjoyed it. As far as anything else goes, somebody gave me a bag of horse poo. Horse poo, I consider is vegan friendly. They're not race horses or anything, they're pets. People enjoy them. So I've got no objection to taking their poo. Leek's still doing well. Still getting a couple of... These are grown in the last week. That's incredible, isn't it? So still getting a couple of those. Spinach doesn't seem to be doing much. Kale, some success, some not. I need to take all that out and now weed it, as you see, which I will do. No field beans yet. My normal peas are doing well. These are the freebie peas, the 89p, that's about 40 pence worth. The rest are on here, and they're just beginning to come through. If you look, I don't know if you can pick that up, but there are green bits just poking through in various places. So yeah, so more peas will be growing up in this part. That's about it. That's all I've done recently, is just more mucking around on the pond. But as you see from a distance, it looks incredibly huge, not so dark. And I'm hoping that come the summer, that'll be a glorious swathe of colour. Right, there we go. That's about it for now. Lots more to do. I've got to go back to weeding again and hoeing, get rid of all these weeds again. Otherwise, you know, you turn your back, next thing you know, you're under 6 feet of weed. A little bit every day. That's it. Alright, catch you soon.